What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're working on my 04 Nissan Titan. I went down to Harbor Freight to pick up some tools, and then I got stranded. And I was starting to panic because the truck wouldn't shift gears, and I heard some people trying to call a tow truck. So I had to fix the truck one way or another. And then I realized something. I was at Harbor Freight, and next to the Harbor Freight it was an AutoZone. So it was the best place to get stranded. Well, at least someone with some knowledge. In one store I had the tools that I might need to fix the truck, and in the other I could find the parts. I just need to figure out what's wrong with the truck. The first thing that crossed my mind, it was the shift link was broken. But I thought it was broken from the bottom, not from the top. And then the easiest way to diagnose this problem, it's starting with the simple task, that in this case was looking under the dash. When I popped off the dashboard cover and removed the metal cover that it was under the column, the first thing that I noticed is the shifter cable. It's not hooked up with the steering column. Then I just put the truck in gear and park it somewhere safe so I can work on it. I always carry some tools in my truck, and I was able to take the cover off. And I also always carry some zip ties in case of an emergency. So I pull up some zip ties and put one around the shifter and the shift cable, hoping and praying that it would shift into gear and it wouldn't pop off again. After doing all that, I got back to my house safely. And then I started to look for the part online because they didn't have it at the AutoZone. So I found the part on eBay. It cost like $14 and it took just 3 or 4 days to get it. So this is the part that it was broken, and it was missing from the shifting cable. It's not an OEM replacement, but that was the only one I could find. Before installing the part, we have to lube it up so we won't damage the part going in. Then we remove the old zip tie so we can install the new part. Before I bought the part, I make sure that the shifting cable wasn't damaged. Otherwise, I had to replace the whole thing. But luckily, it was just a rubber bushing. First, you install the bushing into the shifter cable, adding a little bit of lube. In this case we use WD-40, and then we proceed to install the bushing. It's kind of hard to put this bushing in place, but you have to be patient in order not to damage this part. Now that the bushing is in the shifter cable, we add some more lube and then install the part into the shifter. Once again, you have to be very careful not to damage this bushing by trying to force it into place. Now that we have it installed, we are gonna go ahead and test it out. And now that we see that everything is working out, we are gonna do some cleanup and some painting on this under dash cover that it has a lot of rust because the dealer won't bother on zinc coating the parts under the dash. First of all, we are gonna wire brush the whole thing, and then we're gonna clean up the part and give it a fresh coat of paint. Here's the part all cleaned up and wire brushed and ready for paint. As always, you have to prep the parts with wax and grease remover in order to have a flawless paint job. For this paint job, we're using some engine paint in silver. This paint is heat resistant and it's way overkill for this part, but I had great results with this brand. It's the Duplicolor engine paint and the color is aluminum. Now we let it dry for a day, and then we proceed to install the part and check out the results. It looks better than OEM. This is the way it should come from the factory, not with all that flash rust. We now reinstall the screws back in place to finish up this job. We now reinstall the plastic cover under the steering column, and it's held on by a couple of clips and two tiny screws. But the previous owner must have removed this part previously because all the screws are missing. On my next trip to the junkyard, I will try to find those screws to replace the missing ones. And now let's see if we fix the truck or not. And as you can see here, the truck is shifting perfectly. I hope this video could help someone diagnose or fix their trucks if they have the same issue. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.